No sound detected. No, there is sound detected. All right, I'm live. Shorter live today. Day 2 of trying to do the 10 to 12 CST block, but I've got a TV interview at noon, so I'm going to get scooped up by my buddy Derek Koch, Dr. Dankenstein for 2069, if you want to find him on socials. And we're going to go do a TV interview about some of the stuff that's going on. But for now, back at it. Day 2 of this. Well, it's funny. I'm calling it day 2 of going live every day, even though I have been going live every day for like 3 weeks or something at this point. Thanks for the likes already. Whoever's here. Who do we got? We got Downset 810. We got Ditz and Juan. Hello, everybody. Hello, Don. Don. That's a username I haven't seen in a little while. If that's you, I had somebody with that username. I hope that's you. Hello, welcome back. Hello, Dan. Hello, everybody. So I had been getting at least some kind of daily stream in every day for 2 or 3 weeks, but it had really been just whenever I can do it. And I remember like Friday night I worked a double, so I got home at like 11 and I was like, oh, may as well hit live and go live for an hour so today counts. But no, we're making a push for 10 to 12 CST every day to do the debates in a consistent time. That's really, really good for exposure and viewership and all that. Stocks are down today. Crickets from MAGA says Ditz. Am I reading your username right? It is supposed to be. Is it? I can't tell if there's another L in there. Man, I wish the username font. I wish I could just. It's like gray against a dark gray on this app, and like maybe I'm getting old, but I just wish I could bump the username font like one little bit. We already have a caller. We're gonna check first if he's an ops. Because I am trying to just do ops for the first segment of the show here, but we shall see. Does that username say pagan? I don't know. But first of all, as I always have to ask. How old are you? Whoa, lots of noise going
hello,
on.
Yeah. Wait, you can hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you. He was underage and there was lots of background noise. So feeling like Dean Withers already today. Anyway, what was I talking about? So I'd been really making this sporadic, like just get it done every day type of thing. He says, let me up. It didn't go well, dude. I just let you up just a second ago. Wasn't very good. Why did I disconnect you? Because you're obviously I even said it. Because you're obviously underage and because even if you weren't underage, the background noise is ridiculous, dude. Don't call into a live when you're like on a school bus or wherever you are. Because it is 10 a.m. on a, my God, what day is it? Monday. Yeah, school day. Good morning, Mama Avery. Happy to see you here. Mama Avery is one of my mods, which means I can relax a little bit on minding the chat. Where did the tea party go? Is there a reference here I don't get? Thanks for the heart me. I am drinking tea though. I forgot to put my maple syrup in it, so I will be minding my tea here for a moment. But yeah, it's very good for the TikTok algorithm and for people, obviously just for people to know when I'm going to be live if it's the same time every day. So it will be 10 to 12 CST. All other things permitting. So today I have a TV interview at noon, so that I will be dropping off a little bit early to go do that. But obviously there's other days where there's going to be protest stuff happening. If I'm at the Whipple building or something, I'm not going to be doing debates because guess what, Savannah Hernandez from Turning Point USA? The Whipple's not the best place to do debates, which is why I didn't even really try to debate you. I did yell at her a little bit about the Constitution, just for the sound bites, but no, Savannah, it's not. It's a concentration camp. What says you people are full of projection? I would argue that anybody who uses the phrase you people, like as an opener, is red flag, red flag, red flag. But if you want to talk hit the request button and you can come up and tell me that we're all full of projection. So when I say that Trump is a rapist, are you accusing me of being a rapist? Do you think that the reason I'm trying to project onto him is because I don't want anybody to find out that I'm actually the rapist? Or like what's your point? Because he was found guilty of a crime that is rape. I mean, civilly liable for a crime that is rape. The whole. Let's not do the E. Jean Carroll thing today. Can we not? I only have like an hour and a half. Can we not just? Ooh, we have a user request from Democrats Run From Facts. I'm gonna make a prediction that this guy's gonna accuse me of using the mute button when I don't, because I really don't use the mute button, and I always announce it when I do. But we're gonna invite him up, and we're gonna ask first, as we always do. How old are you?
36.
I believe you. What facts do you think I'm running from?
Well, why do you say MAGA is over?
That's not enough fact. It's a prediction, and it is kind of a vague prediction that was really just intended to get you riled up and call in. So I can tell you what I really mean by it, which is that, like, we've been doing this Trump bullshit for like 12 years, something like that. It's over, dude. Like my prediction today, I'm feeling confident about the state of American politics. I think it's just a couple more years, and you guys are going to be embarrassed to have ever owned those flags.
So you say that we're going to be embarrassed, but aren't you guys the party that goes to protest dressed up as male genitalia, female genitalia, stand in front of cars with children there, and then when someone tries driving around you, you guys attack the car and call them pieces of crap and yell at them?
Well, you had see what you're doing. No, I'm not going to hold on, because what you're doing is you're listing everything you've ever seen anybody do and saying that I do all of it. Now I do.
I didn't. I do
a lot of that stuff.
That's not a.
I do a bunch of that stuff.
I stated a fact, and you took it to heart. I never said you. I said, aren't you the party?
Okay, but I do.
So I didn't say. Okay,
I didn't
fair.
You're
fair. That goes to the thing.
I'll take the correction. Fair. I do dress up with adult toys. I do go to the Whipple. I do interfere with traffic. I do some of these things. I do urge people not to bring children to the Whipple because it is a really dangerous place. I urge people not to bring pets or children there. It's adult circumstances. But the reason that we do that, the reason that we wear adult toys, is actually specifically to upset people like yourself, because I think it is a far more egregious.
No, it's not. It's not. It doesn't. It has nothing to do with upset. Why would
sound
you
pretty
do that
upset
in public?
It's not illegal, first of all, and you do recognize that people are allowed to do things in public that aren't illegal, even if they're upsetting, correct?
You're doing this when it's on national TV.
Yeah, I have a TV interview at noon. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to keep fueling that fire.
So you think it's okay to dress up as a male genitalia in public? You think that's okay?
Yeah, because we live in a world where the president is literally a rapist, so we're making a comment.
Can you tell me where he's a rapist?
I already said it right before you called in, but because I do it every single day and I have a shorter life.
I actually didn't call in. I actually joined in.
Dude, I'm not interested in your semantics. And that's why I'm not going to cover the E. Jean Carroll case with you again, because I've covered it every day for about 2 weeks in a row now, and I don't have as much time today, so I'm not going to, but he is adjudicated as a rapist.
No, actually, he is not, because it was actually held liable in civil court. And after
yeah. And then E. Jean Carroll said that he raped him, and then the judge threw out the case where he sued her for that because the judge said it was substantially true that he raped him. Dude, I'm not fucking doing it again. The point is, there are credible sex crime accusations against the president, and you are more concerned about me with my rubber wang out than that. You are demonstrating that you are the silly fool. We on the left admit that we're being silly. We are doing it on purpose.
You don't want to talk about it because you don't have
talking
time
about
for
it right
so.
now. I don't want to talk about E. Jean Carroll because I go through the facts of that case literally every calendar day of the month. So I'm just
Are you aware? Are you aware that after it happened, she blamed that it was 25 other men that did it, but she only went after Donald Trump?
I'm actually just going to bar the E. Jean Carroll topic, and if you think that that's me running from the facts, that's fine. I spend hours a day on it.
Run from facts.
Yeah, you can call me running on that, but like
you're running, bro. You don't want to discuss
I post the live to YouTube. It's just bad for the show for me to talk about the same thing every single day for 2 hours.
So what do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about the fact that you think it's like we can avoid E. Jean Carroll and say that Donald Trump has done things like admit to committing the sort of crime that he committed against E. Jean Carroll on tape in the Action Hollywood tapes. What he talked about doing with at his beauty pageants on Howard Stern in 2005 is unacceptable, terrible behavior.
That's unacceptable, but it's acceptable for men to dress up as women to go in the woman's bathroom.
Yes, wait. Oh no, you're talking about that. I was gonna say I thought you were gonna bring up the sex toys again, but no, dude, like I'm not interested in you being upset about trans people when we're talking about somebody who actually commits sex crimes.
So you don't think it's okay for Donald Trump to go into a beauty
with
pageant,
the intention of exploiting people's bodies? Yeah, that's bad. If somebody's trying to go in there to pee, that's okay.
Isn't that trans people are doing it, exploiting their bodies by
they're
going
not.
in there?
They're trying to use the bathroom, dude. They're just trying to use the bathroom. That's different than
you think it's okay for a man dressed as a woman to go in the woman's bathroom? Do you think that's okay?
No, because you and I define man and woman differently, and you obviously disagree with me on trans rights, and I don't want to talk about trans rights. I want to talk about Trump.
Oh, so you don't want to talk about trans rights?
I don't. I want to talk about the president. I want to talk about the president who goes into women's only spaces.
It's so hysterical.
See, this is one of those calls where people see why so many people use the mute button. I don't personally. I'm just good enough at talking over people until it frustrates them. But again, you're pivoting away from something. Even if you had a good claim for the trans people, which you do not, I'm just saying that it's a separate topic because you're standing here saying that it's not acceptable for somebody to go into a women's bathroom without good cause. I think that trans people do have good cause to do that. That's a separate topic. The topic is that Trump did not have good cause and bragged about doing it for fucking fun. He said it was funny. That's your president, dude, and you're upset with me for having a rubber wang. Like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with your brain that these are your priorities?
So you don't think that's okay, but let's talk about you want to say how Donald Trump is so bad, but
why is it okay for him to do it? Wait, no, I need you to answer the question. You're so upset about stop talking about Joe Biden. Stop moving on. Stop pivoting.
It's funny that
no. I'm gonna bring you back. I'm gonna yap over you until you let me bring us back. I'm gonna keep talking over him until he lets me bring him back to the question because he's ignoring the question. The question is, if you are so upset about trans people doing it, then why is it okay for Trump to do it? I have reasons why I'm okay with trans people doing it. It's not the topic today. The topic is Trump. You're mad about trans people doing it. Why is it okay for Trump to do it?
Because Trump owned the fucking pageant.
Okay, so if a trans person owns a restaurant, are they allowed to use? If a trans person owns a restaurant, are they allowed to use whatever bathroom in it they want?
The fuck?
You just said that it's okay because he owned the pageant. If a trans person owns an establishment, are they then allowed to use any bathroom in it they want?
He owned the pageant. And all the people in the pageant were above 18.
Yes or no? If a trans person, yes or no? No, you didn't. No, because you didn't answer my question. The question is very clear.
I don't give a fuck about.
If you don't give a fuck about my questions, you called into the wrong live. I'm gonna talk over you until you let me ask the question again because the audience wants to hear your answer. You said
the audience doesn't want to hear you fucking run your mouth, bro.
That's all they want, dude. That's what they're here for. So, seriously, that's my show. They came here to hear me talk to people like you. So I'm gonna yap over you again until you let me restate the question because you refuse to answer it. So I'm gonna keep talking until you let me.
What happened?
I'm not gonna answer any more questions until you answer my previous question.
Run from the truth. Got it.
I'm going to run back to the question that you are running away from, which the question is: if you're okay with Trump using any bathroom he wants because he owns the establishment, are you okay with a trans person who owns any establishment?
I never said Trump used the bathroom.
A woman's only space in an establishment that he owns. Is a trans person therefore allowed to use any woman's only space in a business that they own?
No.
Then why is Trump allowed to do it?
Because Trump was part of the pageant.
So if a trans person owns a pageant, are they allowed to do what Trump did?
I'm going to wait till you stop fucking monologuing and talking over me. Go ahead.
I wasn't even talking that time.
Speak your fucking mind with your little pimple on your fucking face, buddy.
I'm not speaking my mind. I'm asking you a question. I'm saying if a trans person...
I'm trying to respond, but you keep on talking over me like every fucking Democrat.
Please do. Now's your time.
So you're going to shut up for 5 seconds so someone else can talk? Donald Trump owned the pageant. That's not a fucking bathroom. It was before he was president. And he went back there to make sure everything was going on properly. And nobody there was underage. But trans people go into the bathrooms in public settings with underage children, and you guys think it's okay. And there's a big difference from what Trump did and what trans people are doing.
Okay, I think the big difference is that the trans people are just like trying to pee, and Trump is going in there to look at their naked bodies, which is what he was talking to Howard Stern about.
Cannot, bro. At what point? I want you to answer this question.
Do we need to listen to the clip for the call?
At what fucking point, you delusional fuck, does it make a man think it's okay? A man born with the male reproduction system, born with
you're pivoting back to whether trans people exist.
Fucking idiot.
No, dude, I really want to. Like, you're so mad at trans people, but why you haven't answered why it's okay for Trump to do it? Why is it okay for Trump to do it? Like, it's either okay for no.
At what point does a man with a penis, born with the male genitalia, think it's okay to go in the women's bathroom? Tell me that.
I mean, I'm actually.
At what point?
We're not talking about like gender dysphoria and like what it means to be trans. That's like maybe.
Dude, you're fucking retarded. Have a good day. I don't give a fuck taking on.
Slur and run. Okay, yeah. So that was our first slur and run of the day. I always forget to ask because it's good for engagement. So chat, give me a W host or a W guest in the chat. Let me know how that went. I do see we have some ops. We're gonna move on to Bowie in just a second, but I'm gonna remind everybody who's listening to go hit up Linktree in my bio and follow me on the other platforms because it does help me materially. And I'm very, very, he ran. Bowie heard his name. He was like, oh, fuck, I'm not talking to this guy. They are so afraid of me, guys. They're so afraid of me, and here's why. It's because I don't use the mute button. The mute button is their savior. The mute button saves them from looking like fools. Whereas that guy, guys, you see what I'm doing here, right? I just yap over them until they have to quit. And that guy, it worked on that guy. My goodness. Big says Democrats are in a dumpster fire. Yeah, dude, be a big boy, hit the request button on your screen and come talk to the rest of the class about that because I'm interested in your thoughts and feelings. And unfortunately for you, my guests or the audience does like hearing me yap. That's why the live is doing so well. It's because I'm good at yapping. tapping. Patriot says, this is definitely rage bait. I will say that, there's a component of what I'm doing that is rage baiting, because I have to rage bait the MAGA people into calling in. I have to do a little bit of rage baiting so the clips do well on social media, all that stuff. I have to exercise academic and intellectual integrity. That's very important. It's much easier to rage bait on the right because they don't have to exercise any kind of integrity for journalism or intelligence or facts or anything like that. So if you want to rage bait without using that, your game's on easy mode. I'm doing it the hard way by having to tell the truth while I do it. But yeah. So I'm only doing this for attention. Yes, because I think that these issues deserve more attention than they're getting. So by being so entertaining and being so good at rage baiting the conservatives, I am getting more attention on the issues that I care about. I actually have a clip that I is doing well on my Instagram right now, where in it I explain what the Heritage Foundation is, but I do it in like such a way that it's a really entertaining own on this guy who doesn't know what the Heritage Foundation is, even though he's claiming he has master's degrees and he's way better at researching than me. So it's like, oh, what a perfect clip, because like people, it's probably out of the news cycle. There's probably people who have only started really paying attention to what's going on who are going to learn from this dumb Instagram clip that I made what the Heritage Foundation is. Maybe they're going to be like, that sounds crazy, and Google it and go like get that in their brain. Like now they know what the Heritage Foundation is, but all they thought is like, how funny, this guy's totally owning this dude on TikTok Live. That's the whole point. If I sat here and like read facts off a tablet in a boring way, like nobody would watch. So yes, I'm an entertainer. I am an attention whore. I'm a rage baiter. I am a professional troll. But along the way, I educate the public about politics and ethics. It's wonderful. It's such a cool gig. Anyway, what's going on in the chat? Because I scared them all away already. I had 5 callers in, I think, not all at once, but while I was talking to that guy, I had a bunch of people come and go, and I think they saw how it was going and they ran away. I really got to not cook the first guest that well done, because it scares all the MAGA away. If you're MAGA in the chat, the idea is for you to call in and just tell me. We can talk about really, anything but E. Jean Carroll, and it's only because I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because it's the last thing they think they have, this loophole about civil litigation versus criminal or whatever, the definitions of words. But for like 2 or 3 weeks now, I feel like every single conversation has been about dumpster fire says I'm a young punk. I'd like for you to put in the chat how young you think I am. Let's have a guess, young punk. Let's see how young I actually am. I don't want to spend 90 minutes of my 2-hour debate live every single day talking about the same court case that he was found guilty in. Can we talk about the victims of his that haven't had any kind of justice? Pretending it's radio doesn't make you right. It makes me better at it if I pretend it's radio. If I take it seriously, that like psychologically helps me do a way better job at this. Absolutely. People are guessing my age. I guess some people know my age. I'm 30. But anyway. Elvis Trump says, "Hey Oscar, chef is cooking. I want to get a chef's hat. I do want to get in-ear monitors, because today's one of those days where these headphones are going to mess up my hair, and that's the amount of hair that I have is dwindling, and I'm going to be on TV at noon. So if I have messy hair on TV, that's why." Dumpster Fire says I'm 15. Again, like, do you think that's an insult, dude? Like, that you think I'm half the age that I am? Like, do you think that's a burn? Like, hilarious. Pee-wee wants to talk. We're going to talk to Pee-wee. We're going to make sure he's 18 years old. Pee-wee, how old are you?
32.
32. Okay. What do you want to talk about?
So MAGA is over? Does that mean you guys won?
No, it's really just more of like a rage bait to get you to call in. I just think that it's like it's on the way out. Like this whole 10, 15 years of American politics where you guys supported this monster is like it's going to be over soon. That's just my general. Are you driving? Are you driving?
No, that's my factory. I figured it'd be a bad time to call in.
Yeah, do call back in when there's less background noise, okay? You can, you're like, people make fun of me for calling it. I have to boot him for the noise, but people make fun of me for calling it calling in, but it's like, really, are you so old fashioned that because you didn't dial a number, you calling it not calling in? You're talking on a phone through your voice to me. Like, it's fucking whatever, dude. It's a call-in show. Like, relax. Chat is angry, but not many good callers. Sorry, and I personally don't mind talking to people with background noise. I just keep making the mistake of doing it because it is terrible for the live. People leave. Like, it cuts the viewership in half if the person has like a going in the background like that guy did. So there are no winners. MAGA damage is going to take years to fix this. Yeah, Don Quixote, you're exactly right, and that's why that guy's attitude towards the prompt is wrong. It's like, I'm not like happy about what's going on. Like, there's no like big celebration here. Like I'm just saying that like what you're like these people are on these people are on a sinking ship, right? You know, and they're throwing each other overboard to keep it afloat longer, and it's just a matter of time, you know. MAGA is the silent majority. We come out only when it's necessary. Funny, they use the word we. Are they talking about themselves? Oh wait, silent majority? No, you're wrong. You're a vocal. You have it backwards. You're a vocal minority. It's like a third of people, like of adult voting Americans that support Trump, because most people have recognized that he's a fucking monster. Even a bunch of those who voted for him in the most recent election. Like, he has lost a ton of favor. You're now the vocal minority, which is why these lives still work. We're running out of you guys. It's getting very hard to find a Trump supporter who isn't just an obvious bigot, like somebody who's totally misogynistic, like thinks women belong in the kitchen type of monster. Because the MAGA supporters that call in and they seem to have a good heart, they seem to care about their children and their family and about women's rights and about the rights of people who don't look like them or live lives like them. It's not very hard to convince those people that they've been fooled, because you show them any modicum of evidence about what Trump has done on any particular topic. Doesn't matter, the war, his sex crimes, his financial crimes, his election integrity issues. Like, there's so many different angles where you can show these people and they go, oh my God, that's terrible. Fox News doesn't talk about any of this. I say no shit. And then I show them good evidence, and then they cower up and they get scared and they stop supporting him. But most of the people who call back into these lives are just monsters, are just people who are willing to defend a person who commits sex crimes against women and probably children. So yeah, it's getting bad. It's getting bad. Oh man, I'm having fun. I will say I feel like I've really gotten into my groove with hosting these debate lives, where I don't have much dead air anymore, and I kind of have found the style of debate I like to do, because a bunch of people do it in different ways. I got a comment the other day, which is that I'm like Dean Withers, but less repetitive, and I was like, oh, thank you. I do try to keep all the arguments unique, which is why I don't want to talk about E. Jean Carroll. Like, I should probably make like an hour-long video, like pin it on my YouTube and be like, these are my thoughts on E. Jean Carroll. You are not allowed to call in and talk to me until you've watched this. Not that anybody's actually, they're not going to watch it, and I'm going to have no proof that they watch it. I am just so sick of bringing up the same 3 facts every day. There's a bunch of stuff to talk about. There's a bunch of interesting stuff that's going on. One of the things we do on this show is keep up with the news. There's like a whole bunch of stuff going on right now. And the fact that Donald Trump is an adjudicated rapist is kind of old news that should bother these people. Clearly doesn't. And that's like messed up, you know. It's just it's terrible. Chasing Views has entered the chat. I'm going to remind him we're only talking to ops today, so you better disagree with me on something. But first of all, as I always must ask, and time the question for when the connection happens, how old are you? Chasing Views, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
How old are you?
61.
I believe you. What would you like to discuss?
I just didn't know if you understood that. I heard over there in the UK that they've been arresting people for spewing stuff like you do. You know, I voted for Miss Harris, but I'm just trying to let you know you need to watch what you say up on here.
Oh, well, I appreciate your concern for me. I am going to kick you just because I'm looking for ops, so feel free to call in. Not today because the live is going to be short, but on another day, you can always call in at the end of the live when I'm not worried about views, and we can have a longer chat. So that'll be around noon Central Standard Time. So thank you for that. But I will say that part of what I'm doing is like standing up for free speech. So if there are consequences for me exercising my First Amendment right, hang posters of me, you know, like that's fine if that happens. I mean, obviously I don't want that to happen, but it is something I prepare for it. So, you know, there are people in my life who know it's their job to take care of my pets if I get snatched or killed or something. So, you know, got to watch out for that. I'm surprised that, yes, Scout is playing cameo today. She's hiding back here. Where's her brother? Oh, he's sleeping on the bed. The bed's messy, so I'm not going to show you. Actually, I'm going to show you because I got a new prop. I'm going to redo my streaming setup soon because I got a new wall hanging. Ha, how wonderful. So yeah, that's I'm going to try to have that in the background. Freedom of speech is great, but lying is wrong. Yeah, well, we're in this situation where actually you're like the freedom of speech protects lying for the most part. There's certain things like, you know, there's like libel laws and stuff, but the Republicans have abused this situation where they can just go up and completely lie to their constituents about what's in the bill or what the effect of the bill will be, or like what the facts of the matter are, or like the problem that the bill is addressing, like whether or not that problem is real or not. Like it's just something they don't actually have to care about. And I think that that's the big change that we need in American politics going forward. It needs to be like worse. To somebody wants to know what's in the drawers. Those drawers, cables are in those drawers for like music stuff, like the amp cables and extra mic cables and stuff are in those drawers. I don't mind answering the parasocial questions because part of what I'm doing here is developing a following of people who are going to get to know me because I'm the entertaining host of this show. So yeah, if you want to ask me personal questions, I obviously will need to not answer certain ones of them for my own safety, but happy to talk about me a little bit, especially when there's no guest here. And today's going to be a shorter stream. I'm going to be done. I don't know exactly when. I'm waiting for somebody to pick me up, so I am going to leave the stream abruptly when it's time for me to go do my TV interview today. But anyway, Kiss My Butt has entered the request box. We're going to accept them. We're going to hope they're an op, and we are going to ask them, first of all, Kiss My Butt, how old are you? How old are you, Kiss My Butt?
65. 65.
65. Okay. You're a Trump supporter?
Yeah. Mm.
All right. Why?
Oh, why not? He's got a backbone.
I don't think that he does.
Oh, yeah, he's got a backbone.
No. Let's just talk about the Iran war for a second. He started by saying he wasn't going to start the war. Then he started the war and said the war was going to be over in a matter of days. When it wasn't, he asked NATO for help. When they said no, he said he didn't need their help. Then he declared the Strait of Hormuz open. Iran then forced it closed. That's gone back and forth a number of times, including most recently Friday, the second time a ceasefire resulted in just after 24 hours the Hormuz. So no, like he's not exercising, like he's not being...
Baby.
I mean,
you guys get your talking points every day, and you just repeat the same thing. All the Democrats.
Well, I can't repeat these talking points every day. This is current events.
No, but you guys listen to each other, then you hurry up and get on here, and just repeat each other. That's all you do.
Okay, but I gave good. Whether you feel that way about me or not is really not important. What's important is that the president clearly doesn't have a backbone. Why do you think that he does?
He never said he wasn't. He isn't starting a new war, number one. He's ending one, a 47-year-old war that's been going on. That's what.
Then why does the Secretary of War call it a war?
Well, they refer to it, but has Congress declared it? No, there hasn't been a war declared since.
The reason they haven't done that. Noodle, come here. Sorry, my dog's barking. The reason they haven't done that is to convince dumbasses such as yourself to be able to say things like that. But it's clearly a war. There's like bombs falling from the sky. There's airplanes. Servicemen have unalived. It's like. Like if there were tanks rolling down the street in your neighborhood and planes flying and dropping bombs and somebody said, no, this isn't a war, you'd be like, what the fuck, yo, right? Like, imagine if you lived in Iran and you were listening to some privileged white lady on a stream somewhere in America saying it's not a war. Like, how terrible. You don't care about those people at all, do you?
And also, look at all of them that's getting
Yes or no,
TikTok.
do you care about the Iranian people?
I do. And
wait. Then why, given the description that I just gave of what's happening, are you not willing to call it a war, even though the president himself
call it a war, call it whatever the hell you want.
All right, so we'll move on to the next point. It is a war.
They're over there begging Trump to help them.
Who told you that? Who told you that?
They're on here. Here, you want me to get the girls, the ones that are on here saying, we beg. They're saying, hey, you people in America, shut the F up. We asked for this because we would rather be unalive than to remain under this kind of tyranny.
Right.
Okay.
So by the way, this is Jill, right? I'm talking to Jill.
Yeah, you seen.
I know who you are. So who are you believing?
You don't know me.
Who are you? I know you a little bit. It's actually why we debate. Livers listen to each other. It's so that we can kind of know the landscape and predict the talking points. It makes us better at this. So I do just want to ask, who is it you're believing when you're being told that the Iranian people want to be bombed?
Who do I believe? I believe them. They live there. And she said, do you hear them?
Who the fuck is she? There are 90 million Iranians. Do you think that most...
I don't remember all their freaking names, dude.
I doubt you could pronounce one of their names. But the problem is that there are 90 million... The problem is that there are 90 million Iranians. Jill,
you all shut the F up.
Focus up. Jill, come on. You're not banned from my live yet, but you're going to be if you can't keep it together, Jill.
I don't really care. You think
you're called in. Come on, Jill. Jill, we're going to do an exercise. Everybody. 150 of us, you and me, Jill, we're all going to do the same thing together. Are you ready? I have a little exercise for us. Can we do this? Are you here?
What? I don't...
Slow down. I just want us to take a deep breath. Can we all... 160-ish of us take a deep breath together. Big deep breath.
I don't need to. You do.
No, please. I want you to. I really want you to breathe.
Go ahead.
No. I want to get close to the mic. I want to be able to.
Look at the performance.
Yes, it is a performance. I'm a professional performer, and I'm performing right now, and I'm performing this bit where I'm trying to get you to take a deep breath so you can calm down, and I'm actually not going to move on until we do it. So can I just slow down? No. That's like an. don't stop wheezing. Don't hyperventilate. That's not what I wanted. Jill, calm down. I'm trying to get you to chill. I'm trying to get you to like relax.
I am chill.
Okay, so shut up for a moment and just here, look at your screen, look at me, and watch with me, and then and just breathe with me. I'm gonna really
respect your elders.
No, I am trying to respect my elders by getting you to calm down out of this fit that you found yourself in. So like, let's respect you and your body, and let's get you to chill out. Let's get your cortisol levels down. Okay, so you're gonna look at the screen with me. You're gonna watch my hands, and when my hands are coming up, I'm breathing in.
Come on.
And then when they're going down, we're gonna breathe out. We're just gonna take a couple of deep breaths together, you and me, Jill.
Okay.
One more. Okay. I think that's the best I can do for Jill. You have a nice day. Okay, I got Jill to take a deep breath. How fun. Jill might need some psychopharmacological help, if, in my opinion. She could chill out though. It is kind of neat that I get to talk to all of the regular characters. You know, all the zany people who have become regulars on the Bigger Debate Lives. I've met them all, and Jill was kind of on my list. I've probably talked to her before without noticing, but Jill is always wild. Which again. Like she referenced one person that she saw on a TikTok somewhere saying something about Iran, which like you don't. What do they speak in Iran? Do they have their own language? It's not Arabic, right? There's like an Iranian language, right? Somebody in the chat correct me on that. I don't know. It's like there's 90 million Iranians, so unless almost all of them want to be bombed, then I really think it's not. It's just, it's ridiculous. Farsi, of course. Yeah, thank you, chat. Also, just huge shout out to the chat, because with quick stuff like that would take my attention away for a moment to Google, it is so handy that especially when I have a caller up, I can just ask the chat, and when 20 people say it's Farsi in a row, it's like, okay, like probably Farsi, like maybe I'm wrong, maybe the chat's trolling, but like for the most part, you know, it's just unlikely with a non-politically charged question like that the information that's correct floats to the top quickly. So thanks chat for that. Yeah, W chat, absolutely. I love my chat. It's like, I mean, I love that I have moderators. Can we get some, you know, Mama Avery just said W chat. Can we get some W's for Mama Avery for being like my most consistent mod? This is a person I don't know. This is a person who just supports what I do with their time and their energy. And, that's like absolutely huge. See, I'm sitting here talking her up, and she's telling you guys to tap and share, which you should be doing. But, you know, I'm bad at remembering to tell people to do that. So Mama Avery is like MVP mod. You're up there with the greats, you know, Midwest Progressive and Diava Talks and all of them who really put their time in on the show. And that's the biggest thing. I know I'm spending a moment yapping about it here because I don't have a caller. So if you want to get me to shut up about my friends and start talking about politics again, and you support Trump, hit the request box and get up in here and we'll talk about it. But really, I wouldn't be able to do this to the degree that I am if I didn't have support from all these people. And I feel like you know, this thing is just getting out of hand. I started in January. I don't even remember when I did my first stream. It might have been in February. So the fact that I'm able to have this kind of viewership and be able to do this with this sort of consistency is just like absolutely remarkable. Oh my God, Diane EP1329 is sharing the live with everybody they've ever met in their entire life, and that just makes me so happy. Thank you so much. Yeah, so just a quick reminder, I am trying to fill the 10 to 12 CST, Central Standard Time block. Today it's going to be cut a little bit short because I have a TV interview at noon about some craziness that happened at the Whipple. Gotta go chime in with the mainstream media on the on the public debate about the controversy around Turning Point USA and the Whipple protesters and JD Vance sending the FBI after me and my friends. So we're gonna go try to get some of that truth out there. But like it always goes when you go to the T station, maybe they'll air the good tasty parts of my interview. Maybe they won't. But yeah, Jill is a fascinating character. But I want some debates. I want people. I've got like another hour or so because I don't know exactly when my friend's going to show up to grab me, but I'm ready to go. So yeah, if you support Trump, get on the line, call on in, and then don't be mad that I called it calling in, because I consider this a call-in show, even though people think that that's like somehow an L for me. Elvis Trump says, good luck with that. I hope it goes well. I hope it goes as well as the two interviews I did last week did, because I did two TV interviews on Thursday for the local CBS station and then KARE 11, which is the Minneapolis station. And both of them are long interviews. You know, you go and you talk to the newscaster in the chair with the microphone for like 10, 20 minutes, and then they air 15 seconds, you know, like one soundbite, something like that. At both news stations, the soundbite that they gave me was pretty much the exact soundbite I hoped they would use. Like I left thinking, yep, that was when I was most articulate about my feelings about this. That is when I said it as clearly. That was the best soundbite. So the fact that they on both occasions, like I was literally jumping up and down for joy in a bar somewhere at 10 p.m. last Thursday when that aired, because I had ran across the street from the gig I was performing at to catch it live. And I'm just elated. I'm just so elated that me and my buddy Derek Koch, Dr. Dankenstein 42069, who have been running this trolling campaign against Turning Point USA, are actually able to get some airtime on mainstream media, because it's very one-sided. It's like Fox and Elon Musk and JD Vance and all these people at Turning Point USA versus like us two morons with our wangs out, like doing like silly trolling videos on Instagram. So it's just going great. It's just going great. No all caps in the chat, guys. Like you can say all your silly, you know, MAGA things. That's allowed. You know, you're allowed to be a Trump supporter in the chat. Though I don't have a caller, so I am going to start muting people and insisting, like, here, Dre Maher, Dr. Dre Mar, whatever it is, you're getting muted just because I want you say. What even did you say? I missed it. Oh God, it's gone away. You said something silly, but I want to talk to you. The U.S. Constitution is here. I spoke to him the other day. But yeah, I am going to start muting Trump supporters in the chat, not because I want to silence you, but because I want to amplify your voice. I want you to come up on the show and talk to us in front of everybody. That's what we do here. But of course, Trump supporters are still so deluded and dishonest that they'll consider that deplatforming, even though I'm not banning these people. By the way, I have to say that because some people don't understand the difference. When I mute people, it's just for today. They can come back and try again tomorrow. But we got Evolve in the chat. It worked, or in the box. So we're gonna bring Evolve up. We're gonna make sure he's a Trump supporter after we ask him his age. How old are you, Evolve?
Yeah, I'm 30.
Okay. You're. I think maybe you're too close to your microphone. Are you using a Bluetooth device?
Is that better?
Just give me a sound check. Say a sentence.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
It's very muffled. I can hear you, but it's pretty poor quality.
AT&T, can you hear me now?
It's rough. We'll try. Chat, let me know if you're struggling with it too much. I don't want to kick this guy. I want to talk to him.
I'm going to ask you one question. How do you feel about the Stop Nick Shirley Act and the censorship and the violation of the First Amendment?
The Stop Nick Shirley Act?
Yeah.
What is that?
You've never, so hold on. Are you telling me you've never heard of it?
I know who Nick Shirley is. I know he's an awful journalist who's bad at his work.
Because he's
hey, Nick Shirley, if you think you're better at this, at this than I am, come on here and talk with me, and we will show the world how you handle a conversation with somebody who's actually articulate and educated. That's my statement to Nick Shirley.
It's funny because he's exposed billions of dollars in fraud, and you're up here crying about Orange Man.
Actually, enforcement agencies within the state of Minnesota exposed that fraud. He came and did a couple of dumb videos on it and blamed people who were not responsible for that fraud on it. So like he did a very stupid, silly, bad thing. But so you're just wrong about that. But this appears to be news, so I will let you educate me on what this Stop Nick Shirley Act is. What is this all about?
Yeah, so it's essentially the state of California censoring the First Amendment, and
well, that's your interpretation of it. But
making it illegal to be a reporter or an investigative journalist.
Okay, I doubt that that's what the specific language of the bill does. Can you tell me what the language of the bill does?
Yeah, so it says that if you go to like the Quality Leering Center and expose them as frauds, that you would be locked up in place of the fraudsters themselves.
Oh, yeah. So when Nick Shirley went to that daycare center and tried to gain entry, like I'm somebody who has a lot of experience with childcare, and I just need to like state for everybody, no, we don't fucking let that guy in the door. Are you crazy? Like, no, we don't let a random guy with a camera in to inspect the children. That's insanity. How do you think the parents would feel about that? If there's a law that's trying to protect against that behavior, that makes sense. Those are private institutions.
That's not at all within the bill. You're just making stuff up to
what is in but what is in the bill?
I told you.
What is in the bill?
It's saying that if you go expose anything to do with like fraud to do with immigration or any of that stuff.
I doubt that.
Why don't you read the bill?
That's actually what I'm doing. I'm pulling the exact language of the bill up. Let's see.
He literally has the whole video of him asking them, "Hey, why are you signing this bill?" They're like, "Oh, I didn't sign that. I didn't sign that. Your name is literally on here. What are you talking about?" He's like, "Oh, it's because I think you're a vile man. I think you're a vile man. That's why I signed it." Like, what?
What are you talking about?
The First Amendment.
Right, I'm trying to find the language of the bill, which is taking a second, so sorry about that. Do you, caller, happen to have... Oh, here we go. 2624. Yeah, AB 2624.
Yeah,
there it is.
2624.
Yeah, so it's in AB 2624 in California. There we go. I found the .gov. We found California legislative. Okay, this is a lot of text. Let's see. How long is this? State of California doesn't act as followed. Persons providing support services to the immigrant community have been subject to harassment, threats, and intimidation for their work. I'd say that... Oh, let me get this up on the screen for everybody else. Let me just find where I was. Sorry.
Say the people that are committing fraud deserve to be harassed. Just for one, they deserve to be
right.
exposed.
But people who don't, and that's why we have due process, which is not what Nick Shirley was doing. So I imagine that this law is trying to correct that fact. What?
How many people have been indicted since Nick Shirley has started this?
Very few. None, as far as I know.
So you just haven't. So again, you just haven't followed along. You just don't know. And so because you don't know, you're just going to assume that you're right. This right here is an obvious violation of our First Amendment.
Okay, so persons providing support services to the immigrant community. We are looking at the language of the law, so I will ask you to be patient. Let me do that. Persons providing support services to the immigrant community have been subject to harassment, threats, and intimidation for their work. Persons working in the organizations that provide immigration support services have faced doxing, courthouse targeting, online harassment, anti-immigrant vigilante threats, and coordinated campaigns and death threats. These acts have risen to an alarming levels in 2025 and will continue to the current federal administration's anti-immigrant attitudes and policies. For the purposes of this chapter, all of the following definitions apply, and then there's things like address, meaning like where you live, and they have to be very careful with how they define these things. So forgive me for skimming because I am doing a live show on it, but I will leave this open and study it more carefully because this is news that I'm interested in. But we're going to take a look at this. Designated immigrant support services mean things like, legal representation, advocacy, case management, daycares, I'm sure, in here somewhere. I bet childcare's in here, like healthcare and stuff. Yeah, anyway. Designated immigrant support services provider. Again, these are just definitions. I'm going to skip the definitions because I assume they're pretty standard. Sorry, just doing that for the live, but feel free to correct me if one of these is really egregious. This one seems to have been...
There's one of them specific that says that, like, what would cause for them to be held liable for this. And it would be like, one of them was like harassment, and the other one was like...
all right, you're not tracking. My question was, if there's one particular one of these definitions you have a problem with, we can look at it, but I'm not going to try to read all of them out loud to my chat because it's a terrible live thing. Remember, I'm both having this conversation with you and also hosting a podcast, which now, by the way, everybody, is getting hard posted to YouTube. I'm a little backed up on that, but this is all going up, so I need to keep the show entertaining. So if you have one of these you want to talk about, that's fine, but here we go. This is the specific language of the law, right? I could be wrong. I haven't studied this, and it's a huge document. An adult person, parent, or guardian acting on behalf of a minor, or a guardian acting on behalf of an incapacitated person who is... Wait, no, this is more definitions, isn't it? Sorry. The applicant alleges that the application is the applicant. Documentation showing that the individual is commerce employment. One of the following... Okay, so these are requirements for people entering such facilities. Is that what this is? I'm genuinely trying to understand.
No, this is essentially them being able to...
I'm not asking what it essentially says. I am trying to find out with you what it literally says.
You wanted me to summarize it down. Can you tell me what the definition of essentially is?
When you say the word essentially, when you say the word essentially, they cannot hear you while I'm talking, by the way, more so than is usually the case because of your poor audio quality, so please try to talk during the breaks. When you say the word essentially, I'm ready for you to give me your editorialized opinion about this after that word, when I'm really actually trying to understand what laws this bill creates. Sounds like you don't know what the bill is, because you're I admitted I'd never heard of this. This is news. You called in. Sounds like you don't know what it fucking says. So I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to say to all my viewers, sorry, I'm not going to spend a half hour reading a bill. Caller, evolve, please. Go find out what this bill says and come back and tell me. Not today. I'm going to call in tomorrow, call in another day.
You're just refusing to admit what the bill says. The bill says that if you're an investigative journalist and you're exposing fraud, that they're going to lock you up instead of the fraudsters. That's what the bill says.
I just hit Control F on the bill's on the language of the bill, and the word investigate is not in the in there. Investigative journalist, not there.
One of those Control F guys? That's fantastic.
Wait, Control F for journalist? Nope. The words that you're saying are in there aren't in there.
How about I get the exact wording and put it on my babackground? That way you can just stop being disingenuous.
I'm actually asking you to do exactly that.
I'll put it on the background. Fantastic.
well, no, I'm actually going to kick you so that you can go do that. Again, like I'm trying to give this guy a better opportunity. This happened the other day where somebody had said they had evidence that the JCPOA was being violated by Iran, left and came back with an article that proved my argument about that correct. So yeah, sorry, I can't just sit and read an entire bill. It's in my debate Chrome profile. It will stay open, and I will study this and come to my own opinion about it. But I just can't spend a half hour reading on a live show. So sorry for not being prepared on this one, but I will remain agnostic as to what is in that bill, though I suspect that it is a bill that is intended to protect people from harassment from people like Nick Shirley, who are harassing people and causing people to be harassed without due process. Because that's really the big problem, is that the language of the bill that I did find even addressed the fact that we're talking about vigilante justice, which is not allowed because it violates due process, because you're supposed to have a trial before people bother you. So if people are bothering you without a trial for a crime that you have allegedly committed, that is bad. So anyway, yeah, it's again, I've worked a lot in childcare in my life, and when I saw the Nick Shirley video, like, I didn't need somebody else to point it out to me. I watched it thinking, like, dude, what are you doing? Lady, close the door. Like, don't even bother talking to this guy. There's a crazy guy at your door with a camera wanting to see the kids. Bananas. Nick Shirley doesn't exercise good journalistic integrity. That particular instance, by the way, where he was at the door harassing that lady, wasn't during the operating hours of the daycare. It was the daycare operated from, I know the start time was 2. It went to like 8 p.m. or 10 p.m. I think it was 2 to 10 p.m. And he was there. A phone screen got flashed in the footage, and you can see it's 1:30. So he's actually there before the daycare opens. So there didn't happen to be any children present. And then everybody goes, why would a daycare be open from 2 to 10 p.m.? And then I say, you obviously don't understand how like childcare works. There's daycares that operate at all sorts of odd hours so that you can find one that fits your work schedule, because people work at all sorts of odd hours. So like, again, we're working on the fraud in Minnesota. It's a problem. It's real. It's not as big a problem as people like Nick Shirley make it out to be. And what Nick Shirley's doing is just like bad journalism at best and harassment of immigrants at worst. So again, that caller is welcome to go like actually figure out what he's talking about and like come up with some highlighted sections. But I would personally like him to not call back today so that I have time to review this myself and come up with my own opinion about it, because this is news. Assumption of fraud without proof is harassment. Yeah, absolutely. I can call Donald Trump a fraudster because he's a fucking convicted fraudster. He was convicted of 34 felonies that are a type of fraud. Like, he's a fraudster. Are you like? So I guess the question I could have redirected the caller to, he would have considered it a pivot, and it would have been would be for me to say like, all right, so like if you're so concerned about fraud, Trump should be impeached then, right? Because he's a fraudster, because he's literally a fraudster, because he defrauds people, because he's a convicted felon for all the fraud he's committed. Actually, no, he's not a convicted felon for all the fraud he's committed. He's a convicted felon for some of the fraud that he's committed, because he's obviously committed more fraud than that. I'm actually pretty careful to say that Donald Trump is probably a predator of children. Not that he definitely is. He's definitely a predator of women. That's been proven in court. Multiple times, actually. Well, it's been proven once in court, and then there have been multiple courts proving the nature of what that crime was by throwing out lawsuits where Trump said that he didn't rape her, even though he obviously did. So yeah. And then there's lots of credible evidence that the legal system has thrown out, and I think that deserves attention. But I'm not saying that we should go, like, physically harass Trump. I'm not saying we should go bother him about this, which is what Nick Shirley is saying we should do to these people in the daycares. I'm saying that we should find justice. We should follow the evidence. You can do journalism. If you think that there's fraud happening in the daycares in Minnesota, there are legal mechanisms that you can follow to investigate that as a citizen journalist. But harassing people at their places of work is not one of them. Demanding to see children that you have no entitlement to see is not one of them. We live in the, unfortunately, school pew unaliving era, and schools are pretty fucking secure for the most part these days. Like, some random little daycare, maybe not, but like, I know a lot of schools that have 2 layers of pew proof glass, and you need like a buzzer key card to get through both of them to protect people from entering the building who don't belong in there. If you think that you're entitled to see somebody else's kids because of some bigoted opinion you have about immigrants committing fraud, you're the problem. And this law probably, I'm assuming, because I haven't read it all that carefully, I would guess that the law is intended to protect such people. Anyway. So I'm not even going to give that guy the L, even though I think he probably is wrong, because again, I just have to exercise my own journalistic integrity and not be sure until I read the language of the bill, which maybe that's what I'll be doing. Maybe that's a long one. Here's maybe what I'll be doing for the with my reading time in the next 24 hours, because I do have to do my homework. Every time something like that comes up on this show, I have to spend time off air making sure that it doesn't happen again, and doing that every day is what makes me better at this. So is Evolve still just mad? I'm just muting you, dude. Like Evolve, you're clearly here causing a ruckus in the chat instead of going and researching. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, we just went through this, buddy. Like, muted. Go do your homework. Anyway, I bet Fox News told him that it's an anti-First Amendment thing, and it's like, yeah, you don't have the First Amendment right to barge into a daycare and harass people. I will say that this is exactly the type of law it looks like. I could be wrong because I haven't read it yet, but the FACE Act, the FACE Act, the federal law that protects churches from protests at them, that they're using to throw the book at people like DeWoke Farmer for protesting there. It's like, it's that type of protection law, which, if I'd been aware of that law and aware of the protest, because I wasn't aware of that church protest, I didn't know about it until after it happened, I would have advised them not to do it because it was clearly a legal misstep. And I think that what Nick Shirley did I wouldn't mind if what Nick Shirley did to that daycare would be a legal misstep, because he harassed the shit out of them. And the fact that people are like dragging them through the mud because they had a typo on their sign is like, that's embarrassing that they had a typo on their sign. But this is like a immigrant community daycare center that serves a community of people whose first language is often not English. Is it bad that their sign had a typo at an educational facility? Obviously. Very embarrassing. Super big gaffe. They fixed it right away. Who made the typo? Who fucking knows, right? Like I wouldn't blame somebody who works at that daycare for putting that sign up and not noticing it after ordering it, having spelled it correctly, if the guy who like printed the sign had a typo. Sometimes you get a sign with a typo on it and the sign still makes it up onto the wall. Like, it's just not a good enough reason to go after these people. Donald Trump once said that he didn't know if he had to follow the Constitution in an interview. That's a bigger deal than a daycare having a typo on a sign. It's just, anyway. I'm yapping at this point because there's no callers. I scared them all away. Scared away all the MAGA. So get double tapping on the screen. Follow me if you're not following me. All that jazz. What do we got? 25,000 likes. I bet if you got there's only 60 of you. That whole debacle. This is why I don't try to do live research unless it's like really quick, or I know that it's going to cook them really fast, just because it's bad airtime. So I'd prefer to do the research behind the scenes and just get more prepared on it, because it's not about making me look right. It's not always so entertaining, me skimming a bill while mumbling into a microphone. But there's 65 of you watching it. If you all got double tapping on the screen, there'd be like 100 of you in here in no time. And some of those people would hit the request buttons because they won't have seen the beginning of the live, and they won't know how it goes for people who call in. Because I've gotten good enough at this that none of the regulars call in anymore. I haven't actually even banned them. You Lose doesn't call in anymore. Fawcett doesn't call in anymore. The husband cop 89 still wants to call in, but he rage quits right away. Like the husband cop 89 strategy is that like I'll say like, well, I'll say like Bill Clinton instead of Bill Gates, like by accident. And he'll be like, wait a minute, didn't you mean? And I'm like, oh, sorry, I misspoke. I meant to say Bill Clinton, but I said Bill Gates. And he'll be like, W guessed, and then run away. And it's like, that's his strategy. So I don't know. It's just, it does mean that the quality of the calls that I get are better on average, but it does mean that there's more dead air, even though my lives are growing. So, because I've scared all the regulars away. Chris Mig says, I'm religious, and I can tell you that Trump is not religious. He's just pretending to be one. Absolutely. Sambo says, MAGA is here to stay. Hit the request button and tell us why. You are muted for the day to encourage you to do that instead of causing a ruckus in the chat. You're welcome to cause a ruckus in the chat if I have a caller, but because I don't, I want to talk to you. So hit the request button and we can have a conversation about it. Palantir Hater says, love your work, Oscar. Palantir Hater's a regular viewer. I see him almost every day, so I appreciate you too, Palantir. You're doing good work keeping the live alive by being here and showing your support. It really does a world of good for me. MAGA are just grasping at straws anymore. Yeah, exactly. That's why I spend an hour every day talking about E. Jean Carroll, because they don't want to talk about Iran. He looks terrible. They don't want to talk about the Epstein files. He looks terrible. They don't want to talk about the things he's said on television over the years about women. He looks terrible. They don't. What else is there? They don't want to talk about his economic performance in America. He looks terrible. They don't want to talk about his border security because he looks terrible. But no, they want to talk about E. Jean Carroll because they don't care about women and they think she's crazy, and they think that she said that she thinks rape is sexy, even though she literally said the opposite. That one makes me, none of these dumb little claims that people make on here make me as angry. Like, actually, like, you guys have been watching a while know I've got pretty good temper, and most of my excitedness on here is performative. But the one that like actually causes me frustration and like really makes me crash out is when people say that E. Jean Carroll said that rape is sexy, because if you watch the fucking tape, she said the opposite. She said that some people think that, and she was clearly lamenting how like fucked up she thinks that is. She said, I think most people think rape is sexy. And she said it like, yeah, I think most people think rape is sexy. And then she says, after a pause, think of the fantasies. If you speak English and you understand social skills and tone, which I don't think that these people do who are calling in, clearly she's saying like, yeah, think of the things that people fantasize about. Think about maybe the pornography that shows some of those sorts of fantasies. Like, yes, there's a culture around that. That's what she was lamenting, the fact that all that stuff exists. And these people are willing to listen to that and just shove I guess I'm not surprised that they're willing to shove words into her mouth without her permission, given what they're okay with other people doing to parts of her body without her permission. So, yeah, just terrible, misogynistic, horrible monsters. All of them. Am I going to get a harassment and bullying flag for that? I'll take it on the chin. She was an author of books. I have fantasies about catching the world record bass. Me too. That'd be sick. I do lots of bass fishing. I grew up fishing in the ocean, so I'm a little sad being an ocean like an ocean fisherman in like the lakeland, because Minnesota's great. I love the 10,000 lakes, but my God, we only have like 5 species of fish, and the ocean has like all of them. If we're gonna round, the ocean has all the fish. So, you catch a shark by accident every now and then fishing in the ocean, which is usually not a good day, because it's sad to catch a shark when you're not intending to, because you have to like rescue it, and that's dangerous, and you hurt it and stuff. But like, it's at least interesting, I've caught an eel by accident and eaten it, because why not? I had to. When you hook eels, you have to unalive them to get them off the line. They're dangerous. But anyway, fishing yammer. But no, sorry. I'm supposed to be a soy boy who doesn't go outside. Never mind. I've never fished a day in my life. Don't know anything about it. Definitely never encountered a shark. None of that. We gotta maintain the dirty, nerdy persona to. Remember, everybody, I'm a meek 20-year-old, and the Republicans are going to come and totally school me with their big dad vibes. Shh. Nobody tell them I'm a grown-up. Nobody tell them I know what I'm doing. Nobody tell them that I go outside. It scares them away. MAGA. Somebody says, what's MAGA? Yeah, that I get a lot of the clips on Instagram get a lot of shit for me using the collective noun MAGA, because it's not really used that way. TikTok has TikTok is very specific about the way that abbreviation gets used, which is that it just means Trump supporters. It's a plural noun. I had a sign that says MAGA don't care about women, and I had somebody correct me and say it's MAGA doesn't care about women, and I said, well, no, it's a collective noun, and sometimes the irregularity bleeds through to pluralize or to conjugate the verb as though it's a plural noun the way the Brits do. Like my company are having a party is the way that you would, instead of my company is having a party, if you're having like a work party. Anyway, it's an interesting little linguistic thing, the way that MAGA gets used on TikTok in particular. But I have to explain myself for it on Instagram all the time. Are you an accomplished fly fisherman? Never gone fly fishing. No, I'd be very interested to, but that's one of those things where I just never had like the gear for it, because you have to like buy all new shit if you're going to become a fly fisherman. Maybe I can declare this the Just Us Girls part of the chat, because I am going to be cutting the live short today. I'm going to try to go to 10 to 12 every day, but I've got a TV interview at noon, so I'm going to be leaving pretty shortly here, 20 minutes, half hour, something like that. So maybe I'll just answer the chat for a little while. But yeah, no fly fishing. Looks like great fun. Looks like a wonderful day, getting those waders on and going out there and doing it. I'd love to give it a try, but for the most part, if you want to try to catch a new type of fish, you just need to buy like a new lure, or if anything, like maybe a new reel or something. But like, you need to buy a new everything, and it's all expensive with fly fishing. Like the line is really expensive for fly fishing compared to regular fishing line. So never just had the opportunity. Have I been watching national news? No, I don't watch the news. I'm kidding. Of course I watch the news. Is there something happening today? Is that what is there news that I should be aware of? Jerry says, haha, MAGA saved America. Here's the deal, Jerry. I mute people, not just for being Trump supporters, but if I don't have a caller, then I mute callers like people like yourself who think that MAGA saved America, to encourage you to hit the request button, and maybe I can get one more call in today and we can talk to you about why you think that MAGA saved America. I would love to invite you up, and I'd love to hear why you think that is the case. But while I don't have a caller, I'm not allowing it in the chat. At this point, it feels like there's no winning, because I've seen lots of leftist misogyny still. Yeah, I mean, there's bad characters on the left and the right. I think part of the thing that the Republicans have been very effective of through this whole time is causing infighting. So if there is misogyny on the left, it gets amplified by the media to make everybody look misogynistic, to make us all hate each other. So I would say go out in the world and like hang out with some people and see how you feel about that. Because when I go outside, it's clear. When I go to places, it's clear. When I go to progressive spaces, everybody's so nice to each other. And when I go to bars where people have bigoted beliefs and they give me like tips for singing Johnny Cash as well as I do, like those are some dirtbags. Like those, it's being in a group of misogynists like sucks if you care about women, because you notice behavior that's bad. Whereas like being in a group of people who aren't misogynistic, there's like an air of like joy and like comfort that you don't find in some of those more redneck bars. So I would say, don't focus so much on social media. Social media is going to amplify things, and you're never going to know what, because it's just going to show you what it shows you. So I do my part to try to get on here, but my content gets suppressed. I'm big enough now on Instagram that I get to say that. Like, I can post a video that gets no views, and I'm like, oh, Instagram, come on. I got more followers than that. Oh no, MAGA is over. What will I do? I don't know, dude. Like, do something else. Like, did you see anybody worshiping Biden? Like, who cares? He was a politician. I wasn't even excited about him. Like, don't like, if that's a problem for you, just move on, dude. Do something else with your attention. Jeff Jones says, I'm not old enough to understand. Jeff Jones, let's play this game again. Nobody else in the chat spoil it. How old do you think I am? I love this game. Do you believe in love at first sight, or should I walk by again? Oh, that's very kind of you. But I don't believe in love at first sight. I'm kind of a materialist, and I think that love is hard, and relationships are worked on, and some of them work and some of them don't. I certainly infatuation at first sight. I have ADHD. Every now and then I see a pretty girl and I think, oh, damn it, I want to know everything about her, and I got to be cool. But anyway, Mike C says F you. I say F you too. Don Sequitur says make amends. Don't know what the context on that was. Will I play some Johnny Cash for us? I'm going to say no, just because I am going to hard post these, and I don't want there to be like terrible audio where the guitar is like not audible and it's just me singing, or vice versa. But I have an interface here. I just need to figure out how to get like good mixed audio piped to my piped into the live creator thing, because it tends to not work is the problem. It tends to sound like it's over a phone call, and which it kind of is, and it's bad. But you can go dig on my social media. You can find content of me singing that Johnny Cash. But I'm also not warmed up. I have to warm up the low end of my voice to do Johnny Cash, because you may have noticed I don't have like that deep a voice normally, but I have a super low range. I just need to like sing for 15 minutes before I try to like actually sing some Johnny Cash. Anyway, lucky to be young. Yeah. Trying not to squander it. Mike C, you sound emotional and should request up, says Will, who's a regular and a donor. So thank you again, Will, for that. Yeah. Oh, he's still just saying F you. Yeah, Mike, you can tell me you're allowed to say fuck you on here, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to mute you so that you can hit the request button. And if you want to start the call by telling me F you, that's fine. You are allowed to do that. I'm okay with people being mean to me. Fuck Trump, we won. Hello from Tallahassee, Florida. Hello from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I like slow dancing. I like fast dancing. Yeah, I'm much more into grooving in the club when it comes to dancing. I need to write some faster music, man. Like, I'm a folk singer, so my stage presence is kind of just, like me and the guitar, but like I want to write like a punk song so I can like go nuts like Billy Joe. Gotta do that. But I'm working on a cover of a Mountain Goat song, which I'll be doing at an open mic on Monday. And maybe I'll be brave enough to tell the world that that's where I'll be if some of you guys who live in the area want to come say hi and hear me do some music. But yeah, I'm gonna do No Children, which is a very out of style song for me. Not really, in terms of like the punk folk thing, just vocally, it's kind of different range for me. Databank says, wait, you're from Minnesota? That's awesome. I'm in Bloomington. I also make music. LOL. Take my follow. Absolutely, Databank. If you're like a local scene musician, absolutely hit me up in like my messages. I'd be happy to tell you some way we could cross paths, or maybe I could go to one of your shows or something. Carlita loves that song. Yeah, it's really hard because it's out of key. Like it's not a chromatic song, or it's not a diatonic song that uses chords that all fit in the same key. So to like my ear, it's a little bit hard. And then it's also one of those songs where the vocal melody is so jarringly wrong for that reason that if you sing it even slightly wrong, it sounds terrible. You really have to hit the notes perfectly for it to be close. Whereas a lot of music, you can just get it close and that's the version of that song that you sang that day. But yeah, it was a big day for me when I performed in a bunch of original music. I did a set of 3 original songs in a bar, and I stepped down off stage, and somebody came up to me and put their hand on my shoulder and said, "Do you listen to the Mountain Goats?" And I was like, you get that what I'm trying to do is if Johnny Cash was the lead singer of the Mountain Goats. Yes, that's what I'm after. Anyway, this dude is a paid agitator. Ask him why he doesn't go to protests anymore. Are you talking about me? You're spamming. Don't. I mean, I do go to protests. Most recently on the 11th, where I broke up the fight with Savannah Hernandez and Minnesota Angry Man. So like that's false. I do this more. Like I'm leaning into this because this is profitable. It means I get to spend more time protesting because I'm able to spend more time doing this, and it is profitable. So in that sense, I'm a paid protester. Linktree in the bio if you want to pay me. But George Soros isn't paying me. I mean, I do it because I care. Oh man, the chat's good. Have I tried meds for ADHD? Yes. I've gone on and off the meds throughout my life for ADHD. It's kind of, I find that whether or not they're effective for me really depends on what's going on in my life. And the current chapter, I find that's not really the thing, because medication is not really for everybody, and life is long and the chapters change. And the one long chapter where I was medicated, I felt like I just got to the point where like the bumping up in the prescription every couple of months was starting to like have the side effects outweigh the benefits. So I took a break, and then it's you go through it, but I'm happy to talk about my neurodivergency. It's a thing I deal with. I think it makes me good at this. I think a lot of the debate hosts have ADHD because we deal with a fire hose of nonsense from somebody in a way that we kind of have a superpower for. So I wonder if I'd be worse at it if I was medicated. But at the moment, not medicated. This dude is still just saying I'm a paid agitator, dude. Like, Joe, if you want to argue with me about being a paid agitator, you are allowed to. You can hit the request button on your screen and you can come talk to me in front of everybody about it. That's actually what I want. So this isn't an echo chamber. So I'll let you say your piece on it if you hit that request button. But I've muted you in the chat to encourage you to do that. So you're going to have to come back tomorrow if you want to keep trying to spam. But if you keep trying to spam, you will just get banned or blocked. So, just don't do that. Don't do that. Jeff Jones says, good luck with your music, rock on. Thank you. What the fuck says, what the fuck? What are you talking about? I'm going to a bowling alley once in a while. Very therapeutic. I mean, I've got like my extracurriculars. I'm a runner. I spend a lot of time in nature with my dog. I mean, I'm a musician. I spend a lot of time out goofing off with the music buddies, making music, playing music, stuff like that. Patriot Pastor has a lot to say but won't request up, yapping in the chat the whole time. Yeah, he does. Tell people how to request up. I don't think they know. There should be a button on your screen, on your phone screen, that says request up. Actually, here, let me just like open a random TikTok live on my phone so I can make sure that I'm right about this, because I don't usually do it on the phone, but that's what most people do. Oh, this is great airtime, me just looking at my phone. Let's do this quickly, please. There we go. All right, so if I click on that, that one's full. Oh, okay, it's not going to let me watch live streams because I'm currently live streaming. Sorry, but there should be a button on the screen that says request up. If it isn't there, it's probably because you don't have live request privileges, which probably means that you broke some rules at some point. But maybe Mama Avery can help you. I know she's more knowledgeable about that than I am. Just to the right of the comment button. US Patriot says, oh, I know how to request. I'm just always insulted when I do. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You can try me, though, right? You give me a chance. I tend to reserve the snappiness for when it's really deserved. Like, if you come up and tell me that you think that women are inferior to men, I might get kind of mean to you about that. But, like, in general, I start from a place of assuming that the caller is just ignorant and like, needs to be educated and needs to be, like, convinced that they shouldn't listen to Fox News and they should listen to literally everybody else, or some combination of everybody else. So again, like, if you're afraid of joining these lives, a lot of people are bad at doing them. And of course, if you're not a known person and you're just requesting up in all the random lives, most of the lives that you've been on probably are smaller channels that aren't very good at this. I would argue I'm pretty good at this, and that's why my channel's growing very quickly. So, like, give me a chance. Give me a chance. I'm actually gonna mute him because where did he go? Yeah. Same thing. You're welcome to come, be against me in the chat. That's fine, but I don't have a caller right now. I'd love to get one more in before I have to go do my TV interview in about an hour. Let me just make sure I don't have any texts about that. Yeah, okay. So I will be leaving shortly for a television interview, which is why today's stream will not make it all the way to 12, because that's when the interview is scheduled for in Central Standard Time. But going forward, 10 to 12 Central Standard Time. Oh, it worked. He actually requested up. Now, what even was it that he said? Well, he'll remind me. First of all, US Patriot. How old are you? Oh, he's not connected yet. Connecting. There he is. How old are you?
I'm 44.
Okay, sorry. Forgive me for forgetting it, because there was a lot of stuff in the chat. What was your comment that I responded to?
I was just talking about your ADHD mostly.
Oh yeah, what about it? Which is funny because I forgot the point because I have ADHD. So what do you want to say about my ADHD?
Oh, no, I just noticed that you have it because you talk really fast a lot of times. And I've actually been with people that have ADHD. In fact, I'm married to one.
I know it's hard. I know we're a little difficult to be in
ADHD.
relationships sometimes.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I just think it's quite interesting how, like, everything I've said in the chat, a lot of your people that you have in your chat have literally just thrown insults at me every time I say something.
Well, I having forgotten exactly which things you were saying, generally I don't apologize for my chat calling people out for the things they say. Again, if you want to say them to me in front of everybody, that's what the request up button for is. But if you want to, are there any of those concepts you want to talk to me about?
Well, it's just, regardless whether how you feel about Trump, whether you like him or not, like, I'm MAGA for life. I'm always going to be MAGA, even when Trump's not in office, because I always want my country to be great. But
what I would argue
the greatest country in the world.
But what I would argue is that you've been tricked into pledging your allegiance to that sort of slogan when it actually represents something that has nothing to do with the words in it. So, for example,
let me ask you.
Let me give you a quick example, which is that the Nazi Party, the National Socialist Party of Germany, was titled in such a way that you might look at it as something like Mayor Mondami's in New York's type of policy. They advertise themselves as like socialist. The DPRK, the Democratic People's Republic, or the DPRC, the Democratic People's Republic of China is or wait, am I mixing it up? Point is, all these dictatorial regimes call themselves things that sound good. So just because the words say "Make America Great Again," I take issue with the "again" because there's lots of people for whom it has never been great. But you're falling for a fascist trap, dude, by thinking that just because it says those words, it's a good thing to pledge your allegiance to for life. You gotta watch out, bud. Don't do that.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So, do you know where the term MAGA comes from?
I don't know when it was first uttered. I don't know the history. No.
Of course you don't. So let me educate you a little bit on this. So the term MAGA, Make America Great Again, was actually used in the 80s by Ronald Reagan. He ran on that campaign slogan, and I think around 84, because our country was in a little bit of shambles at the time, and he wanted our country to go back to being the way it was. And you said that our country hasn't been great for everyone from the beginning. Well, I would actually have to disagree with that.
Well, okay, so I'll actually just say that what you just demonstrated is that you are falling again for the exact trap that I laid out. What I'm saying is that it doesn't matter that it came from Reagan. It doesn't matter whatever this history on it is, just in the same way that it doesn't matter that the Nazis called themselves socialist, which was a democratic policy from when Germany was a democracy in the early 30s.
National Socialist, not socialist.
Right. I'm just saying that they're using the National Socialist Party of Germany is not what it sounds like, is all I'm saying. And
I'm very much aware of who they are. I'm actually related to them, so I know exactly who they are, what they stood for, and all that kind of stuff.
Who are?
I'm sorry?
Who are you related to?
Germany?
Right. Okay. So what does that have to do with
I'm literally related to the wife of
und ich kann ein bisschen Deutsch sprechen, but that doesn't give me a privileged knowledge about like these politics or anything. So like, what's your point?
Yeah, so the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying is because I actually know the history of the party. That's what I'm telling you.
Right,
I know what it was
about. And they abuse these sort of democratic ideals to trick people into supporting a person.
No, they didn't. No, they actually didn't.
You don't... okay, so when the German people were tricked into putting somebody in power who was going to appoint Hitler as chancellor...
They weren't tricked into it.
So it was good that they did that. They weren't fooled. They were right about doing that.
So, do you know why he was put in power?
What I'm saying is that it was bad when he was. So the people in the democracy that Germany was in the late 20s and early 30s who supported the rising of that political movement, those people had been fooled into doing something that caused the fucking Holocaust, dude. You're going to say that those people weren't fooled. You're going to say that those people did the right thing?
I'm not saying it was the right thing or the wrong thing.
We, with the clarity of hindsight, get to say that it was a big mistake. It was a big mistake letting Hitler come to power. True or false? Big mistake.
No, I don't believe that.
Guys, we got one. We got one. Okay, tell me more about what you think about Hitler.
Well, concerning the fact that I agree with a lot of the ideology.
You believe in what? What ideology?
Some of the ideology.
Tell me which parts of the ideology you believe in.
So, the fact that I don't support Israel and I don't support the Jewish community.
Ironically, actually, yes, like a mildly popular view, but even modern people who hate Israel, like myself, recognize that I don't hate Israeli people. I hate the government of Israel. Hitler was talking about...
I don't like any of them.
You know what? So you don't like Jewish people?
Well,
you're an anti-Semite.
No, I don't, because they go against Christ.
Okay, yeah. So how do you feel about Donald Trump posting AI images of himself as God or the Pope or Jesus or whatever?
I have no issue with it because I actually understand the picture.
Oh, you just understand it to be okay for some completely made-up bullshit reason. What is that completely made-up bullshit reason? Please tell me.
So let me ask you a question.
No, I want to hear your completely made-up bullshit reason why it's okay for Trump to do that. Because it says in the Bible... No, he's identifying himself as a false prophet. It's one of the 10 Commandments.
No,
dude.
he's not.
Yes? Do we need to fucking read the 10 Commandments? No, let's go back to Hitler. So what else about Hitler do you like?
Yeah, so hold on. Don't lose your cool now.
I am going to lose my cool. I'm talking to a Nazi. Tell me more about why you like Hitler.
So, because I agree with some of the ideology that makes me a Nazi.
I'm really trying to figure out which parts of the ideology. So we've covered that you don't like the Jewish people. You're anti-Semitic. We've got that. I don't think I'm going to change your mind on it. I'd like to move on to other things. Do you think that the leader of a country should have absolute control over it?
Hold on. So you literally just said you didn't like Israel, right?
The government there, real upset. Hate those motherfuckers because they're genociding the Palestinian people.
Hold on. They're genociding the Palestinian people.
Yeah, starving them, bombing them.
Hold on. Are you talking about Iran?
No, I'm talking about Palestinians.
Who are the Palestinian people? Because I don't know who they are.
The Palestinians are like a regional subset within Israel. Their borders are really messy. It's like a splotch on the map instead of a square, so it's a little complicated.
Isn't that like an Islam country?
They are an Islamic subpopulation of the territory that is Israel and Palestine. And Israel and Palestine argue about what the borders are and the rights and stuff. And Israeli, I'm not going to hold on, dude. I'm answering your fucking questions. Let me talk. I'm explaining to you what the Palestinian people are, and you don't even know what they are, and you're not letting me talk. Like, you want to hear the answer or not?
I know about them. They're basically Islamic.
You just asked me if they're Iranians.
They're an Islamic country, are they not?
They're a subpopulation. Most of them are Islamic. Yes, there are Christians there as well. There are other people there. There are probably atheists there. The point is that they are just a people. Like a lot of people there's this crazy thing that can happen where instead of being born where you were born, you could have been born there. And if that was the case, you'd be starving. Right, but because you weren't, that's why you're not being starved to death or bombed by the Israelis right now. And if you had the rotten luck of being born a Palestinian, the Israeli people would currently be genociding.
The Israelis aren't bombing them.
I don't know if they're bombing them today, but in the last couple of years, they have bombed. They have bombed almost every structure in Palestine has been bombed almost.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Why do you care so much about that country?
Because I care about people, and the people in that country are suffering.
You care about people, so do you care about people in your own country?
I care about people everywhere.
So you care about people in a different country that has nothing to do with us.
Yeah. Those people still suffer. Those children still cry when their parents get bombed to death. Those parents still cry when they pull their children's bodies out of rubble. That's bad. I don't like that stuff.
Okay, so that's not really my concern. I'm not concerned about what's going on over there. That's not my concern.
Yeah, I know you don't care about those people. I do, chat, by the way, I do know it's the West Bank. I just know this guy doesn't know geography, which is why I'm explaining it in vague terms. So yeah, I know, I'm aware.
Yeah,
He doesn't know the terms, so I'm not going to use them. I'm describing it like the way I would to a small child. So anyway,
so you don't have to treat me like a small child.
Okay, so if somebody somewhere else unalives a child, murders them in some terrible way, you don't care that happened. Like you. If
it's not in my country, I'm not concerned.
But if you had to choose, if you had a red button and a green button, and the red button had the child. No. It's my show. No, it's not again because it's a new question. No, it's my live, and you're going to answer my line of reasoning. Nope. I'm going to talk over you until you submit and let me do this. We're going to talk about the red button and the green button. So the red button. Of course you are. Yep. We're gonna. Because I really want to understand how you work, and my chat does too. So you're going to answer the question. You have a red button and a green button. You said you don't care if a child somewhere gets murdered. The red button gets them murdered, and the green button saves them from being murdered. Which button do you push?
Again, I don't really care.
So you just guess?
It's not my country.
See, where I was gonna go with this is that if you had a heart, if you weren't a total piece of complete garbage, then you'd hit the green button. And then I was gonna ask, would you push the green button instead of the red button if it cost $1? And then we would start talking about how much you value their life. But you don't value their life enough to even save them if it doesn't cost you anything. You might be the worst person I have ever spoken to on this show.
I would pray for them, but I wouldn't.
Why wouldn't you hit the button? Again, doesn't cost you anything. Yeah, you weren't listening. Green button and red button.
So why are we talking about a scenario that is literally not even ever going to happen?
Because I want to understand your ethics, and it actually becomes a situation that is happening, because if we look at the green button costing money to push, that's analogous to the government spending money on foreign affairs to protect people from suffering. So I'm trying to understand your ethics.
Why are we concerned? So my ethics are happens in my country.
I'm convinced that you didn't listen, and I really want you to focus on the words I'm saying here. I'm going to slow down. I know I've
already listened to you. I've actually listened to you.
If you were listening, you would have understood the button thing. Stop talking. I need you to listen. Stop talking. I need you to listen, because you didn't. You failed the exercise.
I don't need a 20-year-old telling me what to do.
I'm so flattered that you think I'm 20. That's adorable. But
whatever age you are, you're definitely younger than me. I don't need somebody.
Then you called into the wrong live. So again, are you going to listen to the green and red button thing again, because you clearly didn't listen to it the first time?
Because it's ignorant.
I don't think that it is ignorant. I think that you are ignorant. And in addition to being ignorant, I think that
I'm ignorant. Yeah.
I think you're an abhorrently unprincipled, and you're religious, right?
I'm very much a Christian.
Oh, no, you aren't. Fuck that shit. Absolutely not. You liar. You liar.
Yeah,
go read the. I don't like religion. I don't believe in religion. But don't call yourself a Christian.
Of course you don't. You're a devil worshiper.
No, you don't. I don't worship anything. I'm an atheist. But you are decidedly not a Christian, because you literally just said that you wouldn't save a child. You literally just told me. No. I'm not going to hold on. I'm going to remind you. I'm going to remind you in the chat that you literally just told me that you wouldn't save a child somewhere on the earth if it wouldn't cost you anything to do so. Are we going to do the green and red button exercise again? Yes or no?
Your life to Christ.
No, I don't. You need to read the Bible if you think you're a Christian, because you have said some magnificently unchristian things in this call, and you should know that you wouldn't save a child's life somewhere on earth if it didn't cost you anything to do so.
So how am I supposed to save a child's life on earth?
In the hypothetical, all you had to do was push a fucking button, dude.
You're talking about something that will never exist.
It does exist, because we send aid to other countries, and I was going to start talking about how much it costs to push the button.
Listen to me. I'm talking about reality, not imagination.
Did you know that not being able to understand how a hypothetical can affect your reasoning about reality? No, let me finish my sentence. I am going to keep yelling at you because you are a deplorable human being.
You can keep yelling at me all you want.
I absolutely am, because I want to address you. I want to ask you a question.
Because you're a piece of shit.
No, the question. I'm going to keep yapping until you let me ask the question. I don't use the mute button. Diavatox, I see you in the call, but if I let you up, you're going to use the mute button. I'm not going to mute him. I'm not going to mute you. I'm going to keep talking over you until you let me ask my questions to you.
You are going to hell if you don't repent.
You are going to hell if you believe in it for the things you have said in this call.
Like what?
That you wouldn't save a child randomly somewhere on Earth.
That's not what I said.
Okay, then let's go back to it. Let's make sure that that's not what you said. Let's correct it then. Let's fix it. Shut up. Let's fix it. You need to listen. No, you need to listen to me.
Shut up.
I am going to tell you to shut up probably about 20 more times.
You're just a piece of shit.
No, dude, I'm the host of this live, and I'm in charge of it. I'm going to yap over you until you let me ask the question again. Oh, he ran. Okay, so he ran. That guy doesn't care about anything. Holy cow, what an unchristian person. W guest or W host in the chat, let me know who won that interaction. My goodness. Valid crash out, right? It's a little performative. See, I'm actually calm. Like, it's not, I'm just good at this. That's all it is. Good content, right? Like, that's going to do well on Instagram. Yeah, somehow I, as an atheist, am more of a Christian than that guy, and he didn't want to face the question. The other question I was going to ask him is that if he understood that if you're unable to apply a hypothetical to reality and understand that a hypothetical is an important thought experiment for how to interact with reality, it's actually a sign of unintelligence. It's a thing that children can't do, and there comes a point in a person's life where they become able to do that. It's like one of the Piaget stages of development. And if you're not able to do that, it like literally just is a sign that you don't have critical reasoning skills. So anyway, I have to go do a TV interview at KTSP in St. Paul pretty soon. So I'm gonna wrap things up early. I'm gonna decline the guests. Thank you. I see Patriot again. But yeah, tomorrow 10 to 12 again. It's gonna be 10 to 12 Central Standard Time every day for the foreseeable future. We'll see if I might have to change that in the exact. Dude, Patriot, are you listening? I declined you. I said no. Stop it. You will get a ban if you don't listen to me. Like, I don't want to have to split my attention while I'm doing my post roll to keep clicking that button. Like, stop it, dude. Like. Straight up, like, Mama Avery, would you ban U.S. Patriot Pistorius? I don't want to give him my attention right now. Mama Avery's not here. Diavo, would you ban U.S. Patriot Pistorius? He's not following my rules. Anyway. Go to the link tree in my bio. Follow me on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram. Doing that for free doesn't cost you a dime. Legitimately helps me. I'm so close to 10K on Instagram, and I get to monetize on there, and I'm very excited to learn what 5 million views a month means in terms of Instagram monetization, because that's like going to maybe make a huge difference into what, like, whether or not this can someday become my full-time job. So, like, please, that doesn't cost you a dime. If you want to support me in a way that's more direct, you absolutely can. And Derek Koch, who is Dr. Dankenstein for 2069, is on his way to my house to pick me up to go do a TV interview, which means I do have a few more minutes to yap before he gets here, because I made sure I was ready to go. Did I record this? Of course I recorded this. Of course. It's going to be a little while before it's on YouTube, because I'm being adamant about putting everything on YouTube in order. So I'm like behind because of everything that's happened over the last week. But yeah, that was a super fascinating call. That was a super fascinating call. I thought today was like maybe going to be a wash. I had a couple of boring calls at the beginning, or a couple of like semi-interesting calls at the beginning, but what a way to close the stream. Absolutely banana. He shared the live, LOL. Yeah, I need to like unpack that. We need to fix education in our country. We absolutely do. Gossamerin says, good live. Appreciate that. Mama Avery wishes me luck today. Palantir Hater wishes me luck today. Yeah. It's good, actually. The timing is good because I did the live. I did this. I got all warmed up. I got all my talking points in my brain. I'm like in the zone. And now I'm going to go do a TV interview. So I'll be nice and warmed up and in the zone for my TV interview. So it's actually timed out super well. Esmeralda, I only have like a couple of minutes. So if you want to talk, it's going to have to be between 10 and 12 Central Standard Time tomorrow or any day, because that's when I am planning to stream every day going forward. It will take a month to unpack that much illiteracy. Yeah, absolutely bananas. Dude, U.S. Patriot Pistorius, like, it doesn't give me a ban. Here, you know what? I'm just going to accept you in so that I can click on your name and then go to the 3 dots and then block you. Goodbye. Because I gave you so many chances to not get blocked, but now you're blocked for like bothering me while I'm trying to do my live. So Esmeralda, I'm also going to decline you. You're welcome to come up. Just, you know, Esmeralda, I do totally want to hear you. I'm just wrapping up the live. That's all. So thanks everybody. Hit up the link tree in my bio. That one's going on YouTube. That one's going on YouTube. I mean, they're all going on YouTube. I'm posting the whole lives nowadays, but that one's going on Instagram. That one's going to have clips. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful day.